Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for April 18th, 2012. It is 8:38 a.m. and we are pretty much near normal for this time of year in temperatures, ranging from the mid 40s to the lower 50s, even a few lower mid 50s over portions of southern New Jersey and the Philadelphia metropolitan area. And of course, our cold spot is once again in Messina at 39 degrees. So what can we expect for today? Well, we do have a disturbance that's passing through. That's why we have some variable cloud cover down over central and southern New Jersey. But the good news is that with a northerly wind and the dew points rather low in the upper 20s to low 30s, the threat of a shower will be isolated at most. I really don't expect much in the way of any precipitation today or tonight. But again, I can't rule out an isolated shower. For the most part, we're going to be dealing with a mix of sun and clouds and temperatures pretty much near normal in the lower to mid 60s. Take a look at the surface map here. A couple of key features. One, high pressure is starting to take control as this high pressure system builds to the south and east through the northern mid-Atlantic and off the coast over the next 24 to 48 hours. Skies will clear out and temperatures will rebound into the upper 60s to lower 70s tomorrow and lower to mid 70s for much of the northern mid-Atlantic on Friday. So pretty much we're dealing with a nice end to the week with scattered cloud cover and temperatures above normal once again. But you see this low pressure system all the way out here in the Pacific? This low pressure system will eventually dive towards the southern plains, become a cutoff low, and produce the threat for moderate to heavy rain Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's right, 3 days of rain, which we haven't seen in, well, since January? So clearly, we're going to be dealing with a bit of a pattern change, a little bit of a shift in the weather pattern, but it won't last long. Let's take a look at the latest infrared satellite picture, and you can see we have that disturbance moving through Virginia. That's going to exit out due east. Again, we're going to be dealing with a mix of sun and clouds, but I don't expect much in the way of precipitation because of this high pressure system right here, funneling dry air into the northern mid-Atlantic. This disturbance will continue to drive into southeastern Canada and will not have an impact on the weather pattern whatsoever for the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area. And our upper level low that has been sitting over the Atlantic is starting to weaken and will eventually shift to the north and become entrained in this trough that is exiting off the east coast, so we don't have to worry about that. The main story over the next 48 hours is high pressure taking control and tranquil weather conditions. So let's take a look at the model guidance for the rest of the week. This is the European model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website. Again, a wonderful website for all your model needs. Here we are for this evening with high pressure taking control. You can see by tomorrow, high pressure shifts off the coast. We end up with a tranquil weather pattern for the most part for Thursday and Friday with comfortable weather conditions. Now, again, let's go back here. Here's our disturbance entering the west coast. Tomorrow, it dives towards the southern plains. Here we are by Friday night. It is deepening and starting to cut off from the polar jet stream on Friday night over portions of Oklahoma and Texas. When we head towards the weekend, that disturbance cuts off, becomes an upper level low, and this is what's important here. On Saturday night, notice right here the winds. The winds at the mid-levels are coming from south to north, basically coming from the Caribbean right up into the New Jersey coast. So we're having this moisture funnel up the coast, and what I'm expecting on Saturday evening is the development of scattered showers. Nothing heavy just yet, but by Sunday, that upper level low and trough becomes what's called negatively tilted. And what that means is that winds at the lower levels and mid-levels, and upper levels for that matter, all shift from southeast to northwest, which basically takes all that moisture sitting over the Atlantic and drives it right into the New Jersey coast. Now, the development of this upper level feature is going to be a key factor in just how much rainfall actually develops this weekend. But for right now, all model guidance suggests that we're going to be dealing with a moderate to heavy rainfall event for Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as this low pressure system slowly moves up the coast. Expect windy conditions on Sunday, raw conditions, temperatures struggling in the 50s, possibly breaking into the lower 60s depending on the area of the heaviest rainfall. Now, some locations are going to miss out on the heaviest rainfall. You're going to get waves of rainfall, and in between the waves, it will be overcast, raw, but a break in the rain. Maybe even a little bit of drizzle as well. Pardon me. Now, if you are going to the Mets game this weekend, I believe they have a homestand on Sunday and Monday. You might get that baseball game in, but it's going to be rather raw and, well, chilly out. So it's not going to be the best weather conditions, that is for sure. As we move in towards the rest of the week, you see this upper level low intensifying over the mid-Atlantic. Very windy conditions if this actually transpires the way that the model guidance is suggesting. You're looking at winds from the southeast ranging from 10 to 20 miles per hour easily, gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Periods of heavy rainfall. Now you see this area right here where the winds are very strong at the mid-levels. This might be where the heaviest rain is located, over Long Island, Connecticut, and southern New England. Again, the location of this upper level low, it's going to be paramount as far as where the heaviest rainfall will set up. But I do have some good news as we finally kick this upper level low out of the region by the middle of next week. We'll see a nice high pressure ridge start to take shape, and with that high pressure ridge comes clearing skies by the end of next week and to the weekend with very warm temperatures. So a return to 80-degree temperatures once again is not that far off in the forecast. Well, that is your forecast for today. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information on nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.